Hello everyone, this is King Vector 11 and welcome back to another video which I'll showcase to you a preview of this week's weekly update for GT Online from February 19th through February 25th, 2026, which I will make a more detailed weekly update video on anything of this information that you may need or want to know later this evening, in which there may be a weekly update news video to follow up right after. Otherwise, any news that I do have that's not enough for a weekly update news video will be made a mention of at the end of that weekly update video later this evening. I'd also like to make a quick mention as of the start of the uploads for this week's weekly update preview video and for future videos after that, I will start giving my own opinion of my own personal rating for the weekly updates based on the information I see, in which it will also determine if the quality is good or if Rockstar just dumped it for the fun of it just to make it look good. All that would be factored into my own opinion. Of course, I don't expect you to respect it, but I don't want you to disrespect it either. I am open-minded and I would be willing to listen to you if you wish to share your own thoughts as well. I'll try my best to describe what my intentions are in the description below, and for, of course, future preview weekly update videos to follow after. So starting off for this week's bonuses, we have double money NRP on biker clubhouse contracts, MC work, and MC challenges, as well as the new community combat series. There's also double money for counterfeit cash sell missions and street dealer sales. And there's also continuing Lunar New Year celebration available through March 4th, where you can log in to receive the Red Year of the Horse tee. You can also get triple money NRP on all Lunar New Year stunt races. There's also a continuation for Yuan Bell collectibles, and you can get 100% off on all horse masks and tattoos. While most of these are pretty good for this week's bonuses, what does give it a downfall that deducts points is the fact that there is 6 times money in RP for GTA Plus members on the Lunar New Year stunt races, which I personally believe should be respected equally amongst the entire player base. But then again, Rockstar is locking an event behind a paywall for better rewards for these guys, so that's why I have points deducted. Would have been a really good bonus week, but there's deductions for that reason. For this week's discounts, we have a free baseball bat, 40% off the military rifle, and a counterfeit cash factories, including its upgrades and modifications. We also have 30% off the Caracara, the Cargo Bob Jet Sam, the Drift Tampa, the E-Insurgent Pickup, the Jester Classic, the Jugular, the Nebula Turbo, the Retinue Mark II, the Slam Truck, the Terminus, and the Walton L35 stock. Of course, right off the bat, we have a discount on a business, which is pretty good. However, most of the vehicle discounts to me don't really make sense this week. There's only 2 really good ones in particular that I would choose over any of these any day, which is what I've highlighted. And there, at that point, I would rate this week's discounts about a 4 out of 10, which is pretty average. For this week's vehicle showcases, we're on a Diamond Casino podium with the Sultan RS Classic. The Ellis Camry prize ride is the Stinger GT, which you have to place only top 4 anytime this week in the Ellis Camry series. The Ellis Camry test rides features the Strider, the Rapid GT Classic, and the Cognoscenti Cabrio. The HSW test ride features the Izzy Rally. Luxury Autos vehicles features the Jester RR Widebody and the Sentinel XS4. And Simeon's showroom features the Cognoscenti, the Alpha, the Zombie Bobber, the Super Diamonds, and the GB700. While I definitely do respect the Diamond Casino podium vehicle for this week, most of the vehicles available for the vehicle showcases don't really please me too much, I would say, and that's why I would give this rating a 3 out of 10. Thank the Diamond Casino vehicle actually for amplifying the rating to a better rating. For the weekly challenges on the premium races R2Rs, the Time Trials in Maze Bank Arena, and the HSW Time Trial is in Ron Alternates. The weekly challenge is to win 2 start races, and the FIB Priority File is the Black Box File. Salvage Art Robbery Target vehicles which could be claimed this week features the Champion through the Gangbanger Robbery, the Everin through the Podium Robbery, and the BF Weevil through the McTony Robbery. Factoring in all these challenges, of course most of which could give pretty easy money this week, it is still too bad Rockstar has not yet allowed us to claim any of these vehicles this week. So it's pretty average, and I would rate this a 5 out of 10. Factoring in all my thoughts into consideration, I definitely give this week about a 4 out of 10, but don't get confused with other people's ratings. This is my personal belief that this week is not the most impressive, but it's still quite playable this week, especially for the rewards. If you would like to know my thought process on this determination, please do feel free to ask me in the comments below, and I will be glad to be able to opening that information to you. And of course, feel free to share your thoughts as well. Hope you guys did enjoy this preview weekly update video, especially that I will try my best to keep up with this format in a more briefer version for the future preview update videos, which of course this time was the first time explanation, but for the future ones I will not explain that and I'll go through the details as quickly and more briefly than this time. Hope you guys did enjoy this video regardless, and of course thank you for watching. Stay tuned for my evening uploads, and take care of yourselves, and have yourselves a great week.